We have more breaking news from the Montreal Canadiens organization. They have a new head coach and his former NHLer and Hockey Hall of Famer, Marty St. Louis. We'll discuss how this could work out and what this means for the team coming up next. So welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. As I mentioned, we have some more breaking news from the Montreal Canadiens organization. Of course, we had learned earlier this afternoon that the Habs had dismissed Dominic Ducharme as head coach of the Montreal Canadiens, and that announcement indicated that his replacement would be named later today. Well, it's now later. We now know who that is, and it's Hockey Hall of Famer and longtime NHL veteran, very successful career, Martin St. Louis, who put up over 1,000 points, over 1,000 games played, had a tremendous career, one of the ultimate underdog stories, one of the hardest working players the league has ever seen. But he doesn't really have any kind of coaching experience. He was currently actually as an assistant coach for a Pee Wee team, a U13 team, obviously helping out with his children's teams. Certainly a great guy, but I do have to wonder how this will work out. We really don't know what he could be like as a head coach. We know he's an extremely smart, well-respected hockey guy. I mean, everybody that's known him well has nothing but great things to say about how he sees the game, how intelligent he is, all kinds of great things. Obviously, for guys, I automatically think of a guy like Cole Caulfield. Ultimately, Caulfield's a smaller player. Marty St. Louis will probably understand all the challenges that a guy like Caulfield is facing better than just about anybody else. So he should be a good help for a guy like him for sure. Obviously going to command a lot of respect from the players, I would think, with his long, successful NHL career, a Hall of Famer. The other interesting part about this is that he's only the interim head coach for the rest of the season. Obviously, you have guys like Luke Richardson, Alex Burrows that have been working as an assistant coach already, especially in the case of Richardson, who's been there and has even more experience as an assistant coach. I wonder what he's thinking right now. For a guy like him who got a chance to replace Ducharme during the playoffs last year, deep in the playoffs at that, when Ducharme tested positive for COVID in the third round. Richardson stepped in, did a great job. They managed to move on without Ducharme. So, that obviously, wasn't really anything people looked back at the time. But now I think we can look back at it and say, you know what? Maybe he wasn't as big a part of the reason they went on a run as we thought. It's hard to say, right? Of course, we don't know a lot of the ins and outs of what's going on inside that room and all that. But still, Richardson stepped in and did a good job, been there a long time assistant coach, not just with Montreal, but with other NHL teams too. And he gets overlooked for, yes, it's a Hockey Hall of Famer, no disrespect to Marty, a guy who I have a lot of respect for. But like I said, we just don't know what kind of coach he is, and Richardson's been there and he gets overlooked. So I gotta think that there's a good chance Luke Richardson probably leaves after this. At least you would think. There's been some talk that maybe we'll see a guy like Vinny Lecavalier pop up as an assistant coach. That's just speculation. We don't know a lot for sure. Clearly, they're longtime teammates and friends. Obviously, Vinny Lecavalier, also a French Canadian, so there's a connection there. Obviously, Jeff Gorton would know Marty from their time in the Rangers organization. St. Louis obviously played the bulk of his career with the Lightning. Did have a brief run with the Rangers, so obviously there'd be familiarity there. But this is a surprising name, to be completely honest. I know on the other video talking about Ducharme being let go from his job, we talked about names that were popping up, a couple of names I thought of as well, and they all kind of had more coaching experience. Marty St. Louis was not a name that was really brought up until shortly before it was announced. I seen a couple of NHL insiders hearing that he was maybe going to be the guy. I've seen that from a couple of different places on Twitter, but I was kind of wondering, is it really like I said, great, longtime successful player don't always turn out to be great coaches. Look at Wayne Gretzky, the greatest player of all time. Wasn't really a great NHL coach. His time in those, with the Coyotes especially, that just didn't work out very well. Wasn't there, it's not always a given. Some guys become management, look at Yzerman, Sakic, those guys, but Lemieux's an owner, but they're all different skill sets, all completely different related to personality. But only time will tell. It's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. I'm sure after paying Claude Julien not to coach this year, now they're paying Dominic Ducharme not to coach anymore. He's still got 2 years on his contract. They're paying Marc Bergevin not to GM anymore. I would hope that they be careful with this situation, and they don't want to have another situation where he comes in as an interim head coach. for half a season, gets a 3 or 4 year contract, and then it doesn't go well. They're going to be really probably leery of that. But you have to wonder at this point how much pressure is going to be on him. It's just more of a case of, does he not know if he wants to do it full time or not? It's just a lot of question marks. Only time will tell. St. Louis and Gorton and Hughes are supposed to be having a media availability on Thursday. We'll get to hear a lot more from them, see what their thoughts are at that point in time. But we certainly wish Marty St. Louis the best. Like I said, great, smart, well-respected hockey guy in a tough market, but obviously a market that he's familiar with, being French Canadian. So we'll see how things go and how this works out. Let me know your thoughts on the selection here. We have now 2/3 of the brass in Montreal outside of Jeff Gorton, Kent Hughes, and Marty St. Louis. Well-respected guys, a long time in the hockey industry, both brand new to their jobs with zero experience. So is this the best move for the organization? Will it work out? Only time will tell. Let me know what you think down below and we can discuss further. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe and stick around. We'll keep you up to date with all the latest news, rumors, and analysis on all 32 NHL teams. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.